Bienvenidos a Open Future. Somos la estrategia de innovación abierta regional de Telefónica, la puerta de entrada de los emprendedores a la compañía. Estamos donde nacen las ideas, donde nace el emprendedor. Una aceleradora de startups con dimensión global, pero que actúa localmente. Somos la mayor red de aceleradoras con capilaridad regional, con más de 29 hubs en España, Argentina y Perú. Estamos en ciudades como Segovia, Sevilla, Zaragoza, Cartagena, Ceuta o Almería. Nos gusta pensar que estamos democratizando y descentralizando el emprendimiento. Luchamos contra la despoblación y ayudamos a la creación de empleo de calidad fuera de los centros económicos de las grandes ciudades. Esto hace que identifiquemos tendencias y soluciones disruptivas antes que nadie. Proyectos en fases tempranas con un gran potencial que incorporamos a la estrategia de innovación abierta de Telefónica. Desde 2014 hemos acelerado más de 800 startups a través de alianzas con el sector público y privado, a través de acuerdos con organismos locales como la Junta de Andalucía, la Ciudad Autónoma de Ceuta, el Ayuntamiento de Segovia o la Universidad Politécnica de Cartagena, y hemos ayudado a generar más de 4.000 puestos de trabajo. Nuestros espacios de Open Futures son el epicentro del ecosistema emprendedor en su ciudad y por ellos pasan los más importantes stakeholders, corporaciones, inversores, pymes, freelance y administraciones públicas. Aquí los emprendedores cuentan con un programa de aceleración personalizado de entre 4 a 9 meses adaptado a sus necesidades, networking, visibilidad y acceso directo a las oportunidades de negocio con Telefónica y sus socios. Hoy más que nunca es necesario fortalecer el tejido empresarial y tecnológico en todo el territorio y en todas sus fases. Uniendo esfuerzos, seguiremos innovando, apoyando a los emprendedores, estén donde estén, y mirando al futuro, porque somos Open Future.
Buenos días a todos, bienvenidos al panel.
Good morning and thank you to this panel, Reinventing the Future of the Port. I am Inês Oliveira. I am in charge of the Open Future strategy. And we are going to talk about the future of ports, which are their challenges, how they work and which are the technologies they use, how they work with startups and how Telefonica is giving their support in this digitalization. And we have a luxury panel with members of Telefonica and also two of the main important ports in Spain, Valencia and Huelva. And without further ado, today's goal is to know their challenges and their ambitions. And in order to do so, we are going to get to know them. And I'm going to ask all of you to give us an introduction, who you are and which country you represent. Agustín. Thank you very much. My name is Agustín Cárdenas. I'm in charge of transformation of companies in Telefónica España, and our goal is to help the industries in our companies so that they can adopt their technology and improve their processes. Very easy. My name is Antonio Torregrosa. I work in Valenciaport, and let me explain to you that it is the largest container port in Europe, and ports are ecosystems, very complicated ecosystems with a lot of multinationals, a lot of SMEs. Just to give you an idea, a fleet of 4,000 lorries getting in and out of the port, and I represent the foundation Valenciaport. It is the innovation center of the port in Valencia, and we are 60 people that want to generate knowledge and want to manage this knowledge and put it at the service of the companies in the cluster, which are approximately 1,000, and we want to boost their competitiveness through innovation, partners of Telefonica, and it's a pleasure to be here. Mafran? Thank you very much for having invited me. My name is Mafran Martínez. I am the CTO, Chief of Technology of Huelva Port. Huelva is not as big as Valencia, but it is the main energy port in Spain. So one of the main gas plants in Spain is in Huelva. And we are going to be key if this continues this way in the future. In our department, we are in charge of the technological development. And we are partners of Telefonica, and we wanted to organize a lot of different projects using freeware. Agustín, my name is Agustín Moro. I am in charge of the Partnerships and Business Development Department in Telefonica. And in open innovation, we want to identify technologies and entrepreneurs that develop these technologies and the startups that help us this digital development of our strategic partners like the port in Huelva and the port in Valencia. So we've been working for the past 15 years when we launched the Telefonica branches, and we have a number of tools that allow us to invest on the companies that we identify, accompany them in their growth, and our added value is the business opportunities of working with Telefonica or our strategical partners. So in order to understand these and give you a context, we need to understand how the port sector works, and also this business tissue. How does this field work? Which are the companies? Well, as I said, the ports are very complicated ecosystems with a lot of agents, and it is an industrial with a lot of industrial partners and the terminals and many other port services that use a lot of technologies. And we also have a number of service companies, and it's relevant also the digitalization, because as many other groups would die with digitalization, and also their innovation centers are all over the world, but they also have to face the local problems. So which are the challenges in all ports? Well, the robotization and the maritime sector has an important impact on the environment, and also all the industrial fabric. And this is the reason why we have this innovation plan with the port, and we decided to boost an open innovation strategy, because research and development projects, we've been doing them for many years, and this process allowed us to create this hub of open innovation with a clear protagonist, this incubator and accelerator of companies. And we reached an agreement with Telefonica recently in order to implement it in 2 weeks' time. Well, it is great news, and we are very happy that we can accompany you in this process. Thank you very much for your trust. So, Mafran, in the ports in Huelva, you are already applying a technological layer with a fireware platform. So can you give us more details? What are you doing with this platform, and how are you looking for these technological solutions? Well, I'm only working in Huelva port for 3 years, and I'm in charge of the digital transformation of the port. And the first thing we did was to ask for requirements. So what's going on? What do you need? Which are your needs? And then we did a digital transformation plan and smart support project. And the idea of this plan is to take 7 areas: the internal management, operations, environmental management, innovation, and many more, the main technological areas in a port, and then to organize all systems from scratch. So when we went to the market to see what was available, we realized that the key was not focusing on processes and problems, but putting the data in the center. And then we chose a fireware platform, and allows us to put the data in the center, and then we can develop all the solutions based on data. And this allowed us to open a call, a bid, and we are going to have the first applications in 1 month approximately, and all the technological platform on firework. The bid was won by a company, fortunately not for Telefonica, but it was a company and we are developing it. And on top of that, we have the innovation and the innovation on firework. Agustín, so everything related to this is a challenge for Telefonica. What is Telefonica doing in order to support this digitalization of the ports? Well, to us, it was a very nice surprise because the deployments of 5G that we did were very appealing for ports. And it was something that ports needed in order to deploy their processes. They needed to trust our technology that gives them a better broadband, less latency, and more security of all the data and information. So we are talking that ports are a great connectors with a lot of goods going through, a lot of data going through, and even about volumes, the number of containers is amazing every day, and also how this container got there, how it moves through the port until it gets out is one of the most important things we need to assess, and all this needed connectivity. And then we started with the technologies. We are talking about edge computing, big data. We are one of the patrons, and firework is the core of our platform, of our smart city platform as well. So we wanted to start establishing sensors and understanding what's going on in a city, and we realized that any element, an airport, a port, and all the different hubs where things go on, we needed to put some layers, putting the data in the center. So this layer of these platforms with all the different technologies. And now we want to continue working to solve the different problems. And also, to me, the next stage is when these layers are going to connect with all the other hubs of these cities or the rest of the country, because in the end, we're talking about a network in which things continue, and technology needs to be digital and put an added value to the sustainability. So the energy saving or the fresh water is not wasted, or anything is crucial, and technology can help us a lot. So we connect, we digitalize, and then we will be ready to connect with the rest of the world. Apart from connecting technology, we can also connect corporate, public institutions, partners with this open innovation department in order to work with startups, corporates, and public bodies. So how is Telefonica working, and how Telefonica gives support to the partners that want to do this open innovation? Well, startup-wise, we give them funding. We have some investment tools as Oliveira or Telefonica Ventures. We also accompany them and give them consultancy, because corporates and the startups are completely different things, and in our department we want to help them navigate, because Telefonica is a giant, so to say, with presence all over the world, and we try to give our support so that they can get access into platforms and start doing business. The telco industry was disrupted in the beginning of the 21st century, and we all had to reinvent ourselves. And these processes are very painful and long. And I think that all the things we needed to change in order to adapt to this new digital platform, and this is what we want to share with the partners. So how can we work with public administration and corporations? We want to share these lessons learned and best practices, and also implementing these open innovation programs. And this means changing a lot of things internally in port authorities or many other industries. And after having worked in the last 15 years with more than 300 partners, we want to share this. And then the network effect. To me, it's very important that we put the opportunities together to the close to the startups, not only Telefonica, but all our partners, and a lot of synergies. And there are a lot of cross-sectional startups and all types of industries, tracking of goods, data management, and that's what we want to do. This is how we give our support. Agustín, and you also said in the beginning the application, the added value of Telefonica in these port industries. Can you give us some examples in which you have applied a technology in a port? Yes, well, the most direct ones are related to security. And it's not only cyber security or physical security, safety. We are also talking about implementing a registry of what's going on. And also the need to know if this container has reached its destination. So we need to record, take pictures of the container when it gets into the port and then when it gets out of the port, so that it hasn't been damaged. It's a very important element, and this includes technology. We need to have connectivity and also 5G cameras that can take pictures. We need to store in the cloud all this information. We need to analyze these images in order to know if there are any problems. And all this must be registered. And also in the way out. And we need to get in touch with the logistics companies and certify through blockchain that all these processes are done correctly. So in all these processes, we have all these technologies that we had to implement and put. And in this type of things is where we think that we can give an added value. And because it allows us to be certain about the different steps in the chain, and it's just the beginning. And all the different processes, the vehicles, the people in areas that are very sensitive is really important. And then technologies, when we talk about millions of elements that are interacting, are crucial. And we have a lot of cases, a lot of examples that I'd like to share with you. And I invite you to Google Telefonica and ports, and you will find out a lot of information. So, Mafran, about the Huelva port, which is the added value for the startups that want to work with the port of Huelva, what do they need to do? Well, the first thing, I love what I'm listening to, because I fully agree. We are reinventing ourselves, and what companies did in the year 2000 and telcos started being services companies. This is happening also in the logistics field. So we are going to start doing a physical internet in which all the hubs, because a port is a hub, right, connects with other hubs, with other routers, and it changes information and exchanges goods. And following this line, we use a Firework as the main platform, but we also need innovation and ideas, and we need development. And this is why we created this innovation hub together with Telefonica. It's called La Lonja, and it is a hub with an open beta until the 15th of March through the Telefonica platform. And in this beta, we offer all the innovation cycle for a company that can develop innovation, open innovation, but not only support with a Telefonica, also a real scenario. Port in order to do some piloting, freeware, so a test ground. So because we would be a problem, we would have a problem if we have problems with a container, for example, and the bulk goods, and 50% of the goods come in containers and 50% come in loose, in bulk. And the development of innovation also in bulk is also key. And we offer as a value proposal the support of Telefonica and all the tools of the Open Future platform, of the tools of Huelva that you have, and also the port also is a volunteer in order to do these real-time pilot projects. We are receiving a lot of applications until the 15th of March in openfuture.org. And yesterday we announced our agreement with Meta, and Telefonica is launching through Huelva a startup call for developing the metaverse, looking for this innovation, and it's going to be faster, and we will be able to appeal others in order to accelerate the introduction of this innovation. And we had to do it from our own capex and our resources. It would take us a lot of time. And if we can start working with the same objectives, then we can obtain more return on the investment. And I think that collaborating with third parties and sharing resources allow us to save money, learn more, and go faster. And I think it's a good example what you mentioned about Meta, and that we can offer industry solutions, and we, through our open innovation and open future, can connect you with innovators. And I am really happy to have two projects, and Spanish ports need to be reference points. We see a lot of examples in Rotterdam, in Singapore, and in Valencia, and in Huelva, in Spain. I love these two cities, moreover. Yes, we launched this project in order to open an open innovation hub in the port of Valencia. So, Antonio, what's your passion and your ambition for this project that has just started? Well, we can say that it is being launched today. We've done many things, but today is the starting point. The most important thing we have is our accelerating and incubating program. We are going to have this year the first 20 startups, and it is our first challenge working with us, 10 in incubating and 10 in accelerating, with a different cooperator from the port, because we talk about containers, but we have cruise ships, and we have passengers, and we have a lot of vehicles. So there are a lot of challenges. So we are going to start this cycle, and the first milestone, and we invite all the startups to come along. In the beginning of May, we are going to organize the first hackathon. It is the second one we do in Valencia. So we already have 4 corporates the authority in Valencia, ATIL, which is the north terminal that is being designed and built with challenges in energy management and automation. So from MCC Group, and then we have Navis. Navis is a technological supplier with the most important container management system. And we are going to have a representative from Valencia, TIBA, which is our logistics operator, very relevant in Valencia. So you are invited to join us. So in May, we are going to announce this big hackathon. So Agustín, I'd like to finish. So how is the port of Huelva and Valencia contributing to these network of partners, and how can we work together with these two very important institutions? Well, first of all, let me tell you what they contribute to. To me, a lot of learning, because we want to learn from Telefonica even more about ports, and also we want to improve our value proposal, and also having this vertical project with a more concrete and more powerful proposal, and we are going to be able to identify the best companies and the best talent, and also connectivity. It is a cross-section layer, and maybe it's a companies that I can use in Telefonica, or I can offer to other strategical partners or customers, and help them to grow. So I hope I can learn a lot. I can learn with you, and also to go further away. And I'm fully convinced that we are going to find these best companies and offer them business opportunity together. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Good morning, Inês. My name is Johanna. Can you repeat the webpage where you can apply until March? Yes, it's openfuture.org. Yeah, .org. So I was going to mention it up to by 15th of March. We have 7 hubs in all over Spain in order to receive all this, offering an accelerating program and a faster track in Telefonica and the investment tools in Telefonica. We look forward to receiving your applications if you have a startup, and so you have time by March 15th in openfuture.org. Well, thank you very much to you. Thank you for trusting us, and we hope to see you again explaining more cases of success with Valencia and Huelva. Thank you very much.
Bueno, muchas gracias.